Hey, vinyl community. My name is Merrick, and this is going to be the quarantine tag. Let's go. I need a wipe there. A screen wipe, something. All right, so, Jesus. I had to cheat on this first one. It's favorite record from your home state or city. Now, I'm from New Mexico, and most of really the only notable things I could think of come out of New Mexico were the Shins and Randy Castillo. And I don't have any Ozzy albums or crew albums that he's on. So I actually went with my wife's home state and my wife's area. So this is going to be out of the Bay Area in California. This is Roy Loney and the Phantom Movers. This is a little gem that probably not a lot of people know about. It was on a small label, War Bride Records, now defunct, out of San Francisco. And they were a Bay Area band. And you can't find a lot about this record. Like, no one's talking about it. There's no wiki page. The only label I found was Power Pop, and Power Pop, and that really doesn't work. Maybe towards the end of the record, but there's got a lot going on. Punk, post-punk, what would become ska. So early '80s punk, post-punk vibe. Really, really cool record. Like pop punk, post-punk. Really, really fucking cool. Really cool record. Contents Under Pressure. I recommend giving that a listen. An album I highly recommend. I think I've highly recommended this before. This is Mushmouth. Mushmouth Unlimited. I almost fucking said it again. Okay. Experience Unlimited. Yeah, for your mind. For yourself. I'm sorry. I just got lost. Amazing funk album. Amazing funk album with the hottest guitar licks. Like, this came out of high school kids listening to badass Midwestern funk and Hendrix. And you can hear it. No. Meow. Album, a tip for a beginner. I would say don't go crazy. I mean, you can go crazy. When I started my collection, I didn't have a ton of extra money to throw around, especially after buying my table and speakers and everything. And you don't, it sucks to sit there and see 10 records on your shelf. And so I started going out, hitting yard sales, hitting estate sales, hitting whatever I could. I'd go somewhere and I'd feel like I couldn't come back empty-handed. I bought a lot of shit for a quarter or $1. Now on the bright side, when it came time to flip that stuff, I usually made more than I paid on most all of it. So there was an upside, but I bought all kinds of shit that I didn't need, I wouldn't really listen to. I was just excited, and I get it, but maybe sit down and think about what you want your collection to look like. Do you want it to, just think about that. When you think about your record collection or your music collection, your CD collection, what would it look like? And let your purchases reflect that. Okay. First record that really got you into deeper music. This is a hip-hop record. You guys have seen me show a bunch. This thing blew my mind. Experimental, industrial, post-punk rap. Hip-hop, I mean. This thing is dark and dangerous. And it got me into experimental hip-hop, and it got me into post-punk, which you wouldn't think a 2016 hip hop record would do, but it did. So yeah. Sorry. Obscure record that people may not know about. I don't see anyone mention this ever, so I'm going to talk about it again. This is Alexander Saviour's The Archer. This is like a sultry, psychedelic. Its inspiration was 1960s B movie romance movies. And you hear it. It's like a sultry Lana Del Rey, a psychedelic sultry Lana Del Rey. This thing is awesome, fucking awesome. Check it out, stream it. First couple tracks, and you'll know whether you like it. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and I think you'll love it. An artist whose second album outdid their first. Now, me and my friends have had this discussion a lot, and there's an album or a band that kept coming up, but I couldn't remember who I talked about in this exact sense. But I will say Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City is a much, much, much better outing than his first album. The ideas that would really make Kendrick stand out were there on Section 80, but on this album, it's like a movie. It's told in like the way a movie that jumps around is told. It's like a screenplay almost, and it tells a story. It has themes that carry out in this album in ways branches into his next album, which he outdid this album with his third album. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City. Check it out. A group, you collect all albums or try to. See, I got switched. Most of you, well, it's not going to be the best one to show because it's going to reflect like that. Soundgarden. I have all their studio albums on colored vinyl. I have live bootlegs. I have this live show. I have their Echo of Miles, which is like extras, B-sides, covers, rarities. Yep. So, yep, Soundgarden. There's a few other artists, but Soundgarden, I actually have it all. Bum, bum, bum. Whack-a-mole. Oh, God. This is going to be rough because I know, like, where everything is. And I'm wondering... See, I did good. Oh! Nat Turner Rebellion. Guru, if you see this, Christina, this is an amazing, amazing Philly Soul album. Was never released as an album back in the day. These guys put out a couple singles and then broke up. It's Philly Soul, but these guys have their roots in the Black Power movement. Awesome, awesome record. Touches on some serious subjects. Fucking great. Album I've listened to most of my life. This was hard. It could have been Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood, because I played the shit out of that tape when I was a kid. I'm sure I ran through a couple of them. But Far Beyond Driven by Pantera. The thing is, I can look back in my life and see myself listening to this at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, you know. I listened to this for a long, 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 long time. Great, great, great groove metal album. Just fantastic, ass-kicking. One time, I was in my house. I was 15 or 16. My cousin lived with us because he'd come from an abusive home. And we were listening to Strength Beyond Strength. And I was in the bathroom getting ready. And it had like double sink, big mirror. You know, I'm getting ready. The shower is right here to my right. And the shower is glass sliding doors. And my cousin's in there, Strength Beyond Strength. He's fucking screaming his ass off. My cousin would just really get into music, into singing music. Wrong lyrics or not. right lyrics or not. And he's headbanging, and his head hits the shower nozzle. And you hear a scream, and his arms fly up, and then he flies sideways out the glass doors. Glass, they fucking shattered, and he lands at my feet, naked, covered in glass. That's about it. So, yep. All right. It's a fond memory for me, nonetheless. An album with a crazy story. Now, this album itself doesn't have a crazy story. This is Mudvayne, Lost and Found. This is their third studio or third major label outing. I had seen them on multiple tours at the Sunshine Theater in Albuquerque, and this tour we actually before we had the money, it got sold out. All right, fuck it, I'm gonna be honest. And if you're gonna judge me for something I did 20 years ago, fuck yourself. So, me and my girlfriend went to a local music store, and I stole an Israel Regardie tarot set, a really nice tarot set. I mean, it's like $40, but came with a book and a nice reversible tarot deck. Something very original to Israel Regardie that I'd never seen. Because of the subject matter on their records, I knew that Chad would be into that. So we went to Sunshine and went to the side of the building where we always do. It's a smaller venue, and I've met Slipknot, Seven Dust, Cold Chamber. I've met a lot of bands there. And sure enough, Chad, the singer of Mudvayne, came out. I flagged him down. We got his autograph, got a picture. And I presented the gift to him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, this looks like it. This looks like it's worth $30 or whatever the admission would have been for both of us." And the lead Chad, who was like, I idolized him at the time, walked us into the front door of the show and got us stamped in. Fucking awesome, right? Fucking awesome. Pet peeves. I was gonna go with things that like peeve me out about my own collection, but I don't really know. It seems that in these groups, the Facebook groups mostly, what really gets me is this elitist culture, purist culture, whatever. The real music is dead bull fucking shit, and the hip hop is trash, and they just bash hip hop. The racist flags really go the fuck off when people do that, because obviously you don't listen to the genre, so you're going off of the couple songs you've heard, maybe radio singles, maybe a record here or there. But if you're not a fan of new music or anything other than what you listen to, then you're obviously not listening to other genres. So you can't be this professor, this you know what I'm trying to say. You can't be this expert on that subject matter. Like if you're saying all new music is shit, there's got to be a million songs, or let's say hundreds of thousands of songs produced every year. That you'd have to listen to all of them to form that opinion, correct? Yes. So it's bullshit, and it comes out of ignorance, it comes out of stubbornness, and there's nothing I hate more than willful ignorance. You can shove that shit up your ass. All right, let's move on. Oh, hello, kitty. Where's it? Look. An album. Yeah, see, there's people in Facebook groups who will say vinyls, plural, and then they get ripped for it. It's like, fuck off. It's a vinyl group, not a American English group. Anyway, an album or genre people might be surprised to hear that I like. This album right here. I fucking love this album. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but the documentary on Netflix really made me appreciate her and respect her as a person and an artist, and some amazing songwriting and production on this thing. Fucking gorgeous. This is the most pop record I own, but I think that would surprise. And if it doesn't surprise you guys, it's because you've seen me transform over this last year. Most of the people, the contacts in my phone that I've been physically friends with in the past, you would be surprised. I will get made fun of for that at some point, and they can shove that up their ass as well. A record from the year I was born. Private Eyes, Hall & Oates, 1981. Killer, 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 killer 80s pop record. I mean, it's worth it just for Private Eyes. This thing, phenomenal. Now, take that stack. Shove it in. I'm really about that saying today. Shove it up your butt. All right. A 10-inch. Show a 10-inch. I will show my only 10-inch record. Tierra Whack. Whack World. Amazing album. 15 minutes long. 15 songs. Each song's a minute long. Was released with a visual project as well. You can YouTube it. Fucking awesome. Hip hop, but very indie hip hop sound. Serious subject matter, funny, light, but also serious. Great little outing by a very talented woman. Share an interesting fact about an album or song. Okay, first off, Brendan O'Brien produced this record. This is Soundgarden Super Unknown. During the recording of this, Chris Cornell broke 3 mics with his voice. Yes, he broke 3 microphones with his voice. Another interesting fact, the song Like Suicide, which seems to be very much about suicide, is not. He came across an injured bird with possibly a broken neck, and this is about him having to kill that bird. His last ditch effort was a brick. The brick he used to finish the job. And I guess flying into a building and breaking your neck would be like suicide, and that's where it comes from. Yep. It was there, though. Chris wrote some very, very dark songs, and in a way, never mind. He wrote some dark-ass shit, though. Dude really battled with depression for a long time. An album with an animal on the cover. We got a wolf. We got a pig. We got a cow. We got a bird. We got a shit. Yep, that's right. Green Jello. Serial killer. Obi, don't start. Not right now. It's bad timing. Record with a crazy cover. This thing. This was either drawn by the artist, who I thought did all their artwork, but someone told me it's his brother, so now I don't know. In the middle of that, if you can see it, you have a face with a bunch of mouths on it. Hey! Stop it, guys. Stop. You have this guy here. His head is a hand that's giving you the bird. Yeah, but I mean, this is all drawn by either the artist or his brother. You have a tiger vomiting tears. You could look at this for hours, and they're like, this is the kind of thing you want to trip out and look at. Well, it might be kind of scary, but still very cool. Oh, that's of Montreal. The Controller Sphere is the name of this EP. Great album, great band. You don't ever hear people talking about Of Montreal in the VC. I'd like to see some more of it. Damn. A good album, cheap to find. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Classic album. You can pick this up new for 20. You can pick it up used for 5. Great tunes. Plays like a greatest hits album. Trust me, you know everything on it. And you know everything on it. An album that was an acquired taste. Poppy. It took me quite a while to get into this girl, but in her defense, this album's a lot easier to get into. I think the aspect of it that might be hard for people to get into is the bubblegum pop, but this album's really post-genre. We're dealing with metal, pop, shoegaze, industrial, indie experimental, classic rock sounds. I could go on all day, and it's not just every track has a different style. Every track has multiple different styles. The chorus will be a different style than the verse. You know what I'm trying to say. Genius stuff. I cannot say enough good things about this album. I love it. My whole house loves it. Every friend I've shown it to loves it. Your most recent find. FedEx runs on Sundays. I did not know that. So, my newest find, since it's quarantine, we're not really going out finding records. These are the 2 newest records to arrive. So, very happy about those. Haven't even hit the table yet. They just got here today. Yep. Bowie Heathen and Bowie the Next Day. All right, guys, be safe. Happy quarantine. My name is Merrick, and this has been Quarantine Tag 2020. Hey, Sandy.